Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Nevin Shapiro Show. I am here today without my co-host, Mike Tirado. Normally, we do the University of Miami flavor, but this is a special situation that just evolved. We are brought to you by BTN Connect and powered by, who are we powered by? Athlete Narrative. See, I don't have my guy with me. Anyway, so special situation here. Sometimes things just work out funny and you don't expect it. But I have two legends sitting with me in my makeshift studio here, and I'd like to introduce them. First, Nick Weaver. He is the rep, coach, everything. Hillcrest Prep out of Phoenix, Arizona. A dominant prep school, high school basketball program. And alongside me on my other side is the godfather of AAU basketball, the DC legend himself, Curtis Malone. Curtis,
Nice
Nick,
seeing you. Nice seeing you, brother.
Thank you guys for being
having
here.
me too.
And this is really like a special situation. Who knew this was even going to happen? But anyway, let me get started. First, let me start with you, Nick. So give us a little background. Hillcrest Prep, unbelievable resume. Unbelievable resume.
No, I appreciate the kind words, Nev.
Yeah.
I appreciate the kind words. Yeah, we've had a little bit of success. A little bit, just a little
bit. Yeah, give the viewers a little bit of background, like what you tell us.
So Hillcrest was founded about 15 years ago. We've had a lot of pros out of there. You know, we've had the #1 pick with DeAndre Ayton, guys like Dalen Terry. You know, the Thompson twins played for us. You know, the year COVID hit. We've had a lot of pros. You know, 12 NBA players have been through our door. We've had over 115 Division I players come through our doors on full ride scholarships, and it's just been a blessing to be around these guys. It's just been fun.
Yeah.
Keeps me young.
Yeah, man. God, what an amazing story. And I know we have some other information to break in a little bit. We'll get to. So, Kurt, on your end, we've become pretty close, gotten to know each other well, and the stories are endless. So, what's going on with regards to your basketball world now? I have a few questions also after you share with the viewers a little bit of your background on the AAU circuit.
Yeah, well, you know, of course, I ran a program for 20 plus years, and just a year ago, some of my young brothers convinced me to come out of retirement to come help their program. So last year I started helping a team called Team Museum out of DC. And after last year, some other kids that played for me wanted me to come and help them, so they hired me as the GM of the Washington Warriors, a Adidas sponsored team. So we've had some success this year. They've only been on the Adidas circuit for 3 years, you know. So for me, it was hard getting back in. You know, times have changed so much, as you know.
Oh yeah.
And it's a different ball game now, but. You know, I'm adjusting. I'm learning a little bit about it, how the game go right now. So it's been a good year so far.
Do you see? Obviously, you know, the sexy word, the hot word is NIL, right? That's all anyone talks about, right? There's some symmetry with the one who's talking about it, but like, how do you see the NIL world from when you were doing your thing with your AAU mentorship and program and whatnot? How do you see that NIL's changed the game? Just what do you see? What's the major glaring differences?
I mean, back, you know, when I had my program, we more so focused on development and sending kids to the right place. I think now, it's about the highest bidder now.
Yeah.
You know, kids don't give a damn who the coach is. Have he produced a pro? Have he, you know, what's his resume? And right now, I just think it's crazy, but I understand.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. It's, you know, it's really a blessing that these kids could really make money doing it. But, you know, I think a lot of kids lose sight of the big picture.
Right.
Yeah. And, you know, to get $1 million and Uncle Sam takes some, and that's not a lot of money at the end of the day.
Yeah, it goes quick.
You know, so now when you go somewhere and you don't play, they bring in guys older than you and guys with a stronger resume, guys who are physically stronger. You now drop back, you know, that $1 million went to now you can only get $400,000. But you know, it's the world we in. I give it its props. I'm glad kids can and families can have access to financial support. So I mean, I understand it and I get it. Am I the biggest fan of it? No, not at all.
Yeah.
But there's nothing I could do about it.
Right.
at
Yeah.
this
You
point.
just move with the changes. Nick, same question for you. Like from your vantage point, you're in a similar role as to where Curtis was with different venue, but like how do you see the NIL? What are your noticeable? What are the changes that you see that it
Yeah.
really is impacting what you used to do as opposed to what you do now?
I mean, it's way different than it was even 3 years ago, 3 years ago. Way different.
Yeah.
It's about the bag. I mean, most people don't want to talk about it. It's kind of like taboo. We're not going to talk about money. It's all about money.
Right.
I mean, I could tell you the 10, 11 kids I had in the portal this year was about money. Everyone, fit doesn't matter anymore. I'm an old school guy like you.
Yeah.
I'm about fit. Go where you play, go where you're going to be seen, go where you're going to develop, right? First thing kids say now is, what's the bag number?
Yeah.
The first thing I get when I'm going in the portal, I'm leaving the Big Ten, I want to go to the SEC, find out what the number is. It's not, do they have playing time?
Right.
It's not, who's at my spot? Who am I competing with? It's how much money are you giving me?
Is it adjusting? Is it hard for you to adjust the way you coach these kids?
Oh,
the way you handle them, and going further into that question, how does it feel now dealing with their families? Do they feel like they're being recruited too? Like,
it's 100%, 100%. Now, parents are so involved because I don't want to say every single family's this way, but a lot of the families, everybody wants a piece.
they want theirs.
Yeah, they want theirs. I mean, people can sit here and say it's not true. I mean, I've seen it firsthand. You have uncles coming around. You have great aunts coming around. You have my best friend, this, that. Everybody wants a piece of it, right?
Right.
And so then the parents feel like, hey, this is my son, this is my daughter, or, whoever, because women's basketball is the same as men's now. Everyone's getting paid. Everybody wants to come around.
What a follow-up question to that. So we all know how we got here. Like, who do you blame? Like, obviously there's no guardrails on this thing.
None.
Right? There's no guardrails. Like the kids, we can all, I think unanimously, we all can agree, there was deserved compensation many years ago.
I agree.
In order for the players should have been compensated a long time ago. And then, it's just greed, right? It's prevalent. But who do you point the finger at? Would you say it's the NCAA?
The NCAA.
Yeah.
They've allowed it to become, now it's the Wild West. Now it's just renegade.
Yeah.
And now if you want to try to reel it in, how do you even try to reel it in?
Right.
It makes no sense.
Right.
I mean, it's out of control.
Yeah, and Kurt, same question for you.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. The NCAA.
Yeah.
It's amazing looking at it now, and these kids are getting money. I came up under Sonny Vaccaro, who's been fighting for these kids to get paid
Forever.
And his thing was always, if they can't make money, allow them to go straight to the NBA.
Right.
Because they should be allowed to go make a living.
Right.
He would always say, if a guy can go register for the Army and fight for this
Great
country
point, man.
at 18, why can't he go
Yeah, that's right.
and play or try to play in the NBA? A lot of people would say, well, he's going to fail, and he would say, well, if a kid play overseas for 15 years, is that failing? You go to college to get a degree to do what?
Yeah.
Make a living.
Sonny was he was always ahead of his time
Yes,
anyway.
he was. Yes,
in that, in that regard. And then of course, my situation that I had, with the NCAA and whatnot, and so much of it really never came out. Man, I don't think there was a bigger lobbyist for these kids.
Well, you were the NIL.
Yeah, man.
Before there.
Yeah.
The original NIL.
Yeah, the original.
Man, I fought tooth and nail, man, to get these kids something. And the greed factor is just, the NCAA is paying for it now with their lack of action and activity to address the problem head on. So I guess my next question for you, Nick, would be this. So now with this NIL world, you're running a prep school, right? So do you see the money expanding to the prep? Is it a bit, how do you see the way it's all evolving as far as, is there more money involved now by scheduling, by going across the country, scheduling the big name teams?
There's way more money involved than it's ever been.
Is it like a it seems to me like a WWE entertainment situation now.
It is. I mean,
or is it about a sport anymore?
I don't think the purity of basketball, it's not there anymore.
Yeah.
in high school. You got kids leaving mid-season, kids going here, kids going there. And that's not to throw shade at AAU. It's almost become AAU where, in the summer you can transfer teams after an event. High school, 5 years ago, that never really happened. So now it's an evolving thing. You have a kid, I don't like this team. I didn't play. I didn't get the minutes. I didn't get the shots. Well, this school's going to offer me money. I'm going to leave at Christmas. It happens all the time. So to answer your question, yeah, money is just being thrown around at our level. It's insane. Have you heard the amount of money that some of these schools are giving players? It'd blow your mind.
Yeah.
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 It'd blow your mind.
Yeah.
I want to specify that, not schools, NIL deals.
Yeah.
NIL deals.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It'll blow your mind.
Yeah. So Kurt, so going back to when you were doing your thing at the AAU level. So obviously, listen, not calling out names or putting anyone that business out there and whatnot, but you saw the money exchanging hands and the offers. So like there was NIL going on before it really became NIL, right? The only difference is now it's like everyone's doing it and it's wide open, right? The wide open West. Do you think that what system do you think was the better system? The way it used to be or the way it is now? Because that was like at least people were tiptoeing around it back then. Now it's just so blatantly stupid.
Yeah, I believe that, because I'm old school, I do agree with the old way. I think that if they can put some type of guardrails on this thing, I think it can be a really, really good situation. But, back in our day when we were running the program and having a bunch of kids, and, you had schools that were giving NIL money out.
Yeah.
For me, I always say this, and I can go on record saying this, and I've said it over and over, regardless of what anybody ever thought of me. I've never received one dime from one college ever in my life, and I could have sent every kid I had to the SEC who cheated big time.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the schools that were cheating, I didn't think that they I didn't think they created pro. I didn't think they made pros.
Yeah.
There's some guys who got paid that we know, and you never heard from them again in life.
Yeah.
So for me, I like the old way. I think that, you knew what was going on, but everybody wasn't doing it.
Right. Yeah.
So,
you weren't one of the compromised souls. In that game. Yeah. I witnessed a lot myself going through my situation. Obviously, I had a lot of love for my program at the U, and I wasn't paying kids to come there, but I made sure I had them when they were there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I just saw the injustice of, man, they're making so much money on these TV deals, and these kids couldn't eat.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yes.
I couldn't believe it. So my next question. So I'm hearing rumblings of a potential move, a relocation, possibly. Like, is there something going on?
Rumors are rumors.
Oh wow, where there's smoke, there's fire. Holy moly, man!
That is true. Where there's smoke, there is fire.
Yeah. What do you envision Hillcrest, you personally, in the next 5 years? What do you see happening?
Hopefully winning a national championship again.
Amazing.
That's the goal.
How long have you been doing this now?
15 years.
At Hillcrest. Wow.
15 years.
Incredible. Kurt, what's next for you?
I'm just right now, man. I'm trying to just focus. My book will be released September the 30th, and for me, I think that my personal things are a little more important right now than the AAU basketball and those things, and hopefully the documentary and everything by the end of the year we should have. By 2026, everything should be done. So for me, those are the things that I'm more putting my energy into.
Yeah.
I have a company I have partnership in, Campus VR, that, we've been focusing down here, having a bunch of meetings. So if these things can go, they can count me out of the AAU.
Yeah, you'll be telling Glory Days stories.
Yeah, I'll go lay on the beach with my.
And for anyone that doesn't know, man, this guy has one of the most. What a compelling story, man! This guy really is a legend, man. You got to look him up, man. Curtis Malone. But listen, I know it was a short drive-by, and this is not like the norm. And I know we normally talk University of Miami, but these are two really serious dudes with stories to tell, and a lot of success still forthcoming for both of them. And I'm glad. I appreciate you guys giving me a few minutes and
Thanks for having us.
and chopping it up with me, man. And anyway, like, subscribe, do whatever. Nevin Shapiro, talking shit, being me. This is what it is. Peace.